Hello and welcome to our today's webinar. My name is Anna Ogunusi. I'm a business and development manager in Easy Software, and usually I'm the one who runs all the webinars. And today we have here one of my colleagues who will be of great help to me today because, as you know, the topic of today's webinars is DevOps plugins for Easy Redmine 2019. So as you know, Easy Redmine has introduced a set of plugins for integrated DevOps management, and these plugins include Jenkins for continuous integration, test cases, requirements management, and diagrams. And since it's quite a technical topic that I'm not quite confident presenting, therefore today I have here someone who has actually designed these or developed these plugins, and that's Peter. So I will pass over to Peter so he can start sharing his screen, and we will continue with our webinar.
Hey, hello everybody. Hopefully you could hear me and also see my screen. And so as Anna said, my name is Peter, and I would like to present within a few minutes like the whole concept about the DevOps sets of the plugins in the Easy Redmine. And in order to somehow demonstrate it on the real practice, I have prepared the one project in the Easy Redmine, which is called like company intranet. So basically is to develop a new internet web page for that company. And in order to basically do it, we need such a sets of the plugins. So in here, I'm just sharing the very same screen as was before. Like this is a classic infinity symbol for the DevOps, and in order to somehow, I would say, help the developers and the testers with their daily routine, we have created the plugins like, for example, requirement and the diagrams for the sections like planning. For the coding, we have integration with repositories like a GitLab, SVN, Mercurial. And for the kind of compiling, for the building of the code and the releasing and deployment, we have integration with Jenkins. And then for sure, to somehow help also the testers, we have test cases plugin. And plus, for sure, Easy Redmine is bringing the own help desk. So we have also the evidence of the tickets upcoming related to the particular project. And then for sure, the plenty of the nice dashboards to present the efficiency from the Easy Redmine. And for today, for my project for developing of the new company website, I will basically show each of these particular plugin in action. So let's start from the requirements. So basically, let's imagine that I'm basically product owner or the customer, and I'm specifying the list of the requirements, my expectation from this new company web page, and then I would like to split it into the three groups like functions and basically admin section. And for the design of this new intranet, I would have a kind of one requirement for specification of the layout, for example. And then for sure in the layout section, I could write the description like my expectation one is for the mobile view, and then for two, I would like to specify like mobile view resolution. Let's put there. And then for another specification for the layout, I would like to have a kind of such a design. And for sure, I could put there like acceptance criteria and another various custom fields. In here, I just put for the reference like kind of distinguishing between the hardware or software requirement. So this is very popular, especially in automotive. And then, or you can even split it between like a functional and non-functional requirement. And then for sure, another custom fields what you could put there. So you have a chance to be flexible with adding the custom fields. You could put there also the attachments like or a print screen. And yeah, that's it. And then I could save it. And here you could see like those are my the kind of descriptions of this particular requirement. And then I have a chance to basically link it with tasks. So the basically very ultimate goal of this whole DevOps concept is to create traceability between each elements through this kind of infinity symbol in order to somehow development process And how to do it, basically. And we have selected the method to link basically everything through the task, because the task is for us like the absolutely ultimate element. So let's imagine if I were right now click on the related task, because for sure for the one requirement like layout, you could have plenty of the tasks. So in my case, I'm, for example, a developer, and I would like to kind of develop the login page, yeah, the login system inside this new company intranet. And if I would click on it, so for sure I have a chance, if right now I'm in an analytics stage, to draw my concept, how I will do it, how I will develop basically the login page. And in that case, we have comes up with an idea to integrate. You probably know the tools like a Draw.io or another drawing tools, which were basically separated. And we comes up with an idea to integrate it inside the Easy Redmine. So right now you have a chance to basically not just only add in here like a classic picture, but you could dynamically edit it. So in here, for example, I will be developing like a login page, and this is just for reference. And then I would use, for example, the framework Keycloak, and I would like to draw it. I'm a developer, and I would like to remember my concept, how I will do it. So then you have a chance like to put there like yeah, whatever description, and draw it like a classic diagram. And this is very popular, and you basically create it. Use another tool. They have it integrated within Easy Redmine. And then I will just modify the view a bit of, and click on the save. And here you can see this is just the modified version of this diagram, and everything is placed inside the task. And if you would like to create a new diagram, it's really easy. You can click on the update, and then in here in this panel, on the top panel, there is a text diagram. If you click on it, so here you just need to name it somehow, like a new architecture, and then you are automatically redirected to the plane or this layout where you can draw your concept. How we would like to do it. It's really easy. You can even draw the processes, like do something, and then another task. So this is also popular. There are the BPMN standards, not just only the objects for the drawing of the, for example, the objects inside basically the development processes, but you could put there like a business process modeler. So this is very popular, especially for the process guys, for the project managers, product managers, quality guys. So if you know this notation, so this is very popular, and it's very same. The library is the very same as a Draw.io is providing. And then you can click on it, and then is kind of created, and then you click on the save on the task level, and you can go downstairs, and yeah, there is your new diagram. It's really easy, and you can use it on each entity in the Easy Redmine, not just only on the task. You can use it on the project description, in the knowledge base, in the news, in the new post. So basically almost everywhere. But returning back, right now, basically I'm a developer. So right now I will continue with a development, and I know the requirement, the specification, what the product owner or the customer defined. So here you can see this is the traceability back to the requirement. So I have a chance from a development perspective to see what is the specification. And then in order to start the development, or just short reminder, so we have passed through the requirements and the diagrams. And then I would like to start coding. And for sure, in my project, basically in this company intranet, we have decided to do it in the HTML, for example. And then basically almost everywhere the developers are using the repositories to collect all of the codes. And also I'm using a GitLab. And for today, I just put in here like a one HTML page. So this is like my code. So let's imagine that I need to do this login page, just be using the HTML. And so I have a chance to edit the code using such an IDE. I can application. Yeah. And now what is bringing the integration with GitLab to Easy Redmine? If I will go to the setting of the project, so here I'm in on the level of the project, I will click on the setting and then repositories. You have a chance to basically integrate with the various repositories as said. If you click on the Git and then select like the HTTP address to this edit box, so you have a chance to connect to your GitLab, for example. And then it means that if you will basically use a specific tag like a refs or reference or issue ID, and then a specific symbols, so you could basically allocate or spend the time on your task, or you could even change the status of your task. So this is visible in here. So you could change automatically the status of your task without kind of step into the Easy Redmine. This is very popular, especially from the developer's perspective, because they don't like task management tools. They like IDEs, they like repositories, and they don't need to go again to the Easy Redmine to modify the task. So basically, they could do it basically even from the commit message. So right now I'm a developer, and I will go to this commit message box, and I could put there like this specific tag, and then hash, and you just only need to know as a developer. And I will find my task. I forget it. Login page, right? And the task ID is a 459. Here is visible. And then I'm a developer right now, and I would like to, for example, put there like the progress. Like I have troubles with compiling or something. And then you can click on the commit changes. And then if you have it right kind of connected, kind of Easy Redmine versus GitLab, so then you have a chance. I will click right now just on the update to, I don't have a proper connection, but if you have it connected where you can go to the content of the task and click on the revisions. And here you could see it's basically there online, like the ID of the task, and I have troubles with a compiling of something. And by very same method, you could basically change the status of the task. And I will show you in a minute, like how it could be kind of effective for your and your developers' daily work to be changed. So another iterations like a compiling or like a deployment or whatever. So so this was just the integration. GitLab versus Easy Redmine. So just the recap: you have a chance to change the status of the task, to allocate the hours, and basically the main tags. Just by using the main tags, you can change the attributes. And if I will go back to the project overview, so now we were demonstrating the integration with a GitLab, and then you should try to compile your code, or then kind of lately release or deploy your code. And for this purpose, you need basically integration with such CI/CD tool. For sure, there is plenty of those on the market, like GitLab CI or Jenkins. Jenkins is very popular, so that's why we have decided to create firstly this integration. And how it works. So we need to go again to the setting of the project, and then go to the continuous integration. And here you have a chance to add there like the host name, username, and API token from the Jenkins. So you basically need to know that. And then you have to kind of select the logic, what you are going to do kind of with this job from the Jenkins. What is your plan? In my case, I will show you. I would like to perform the automate testing. So let's imagine I will switch to the Kanban board for better visualization. So I would like to implement the automate testing. It means that there is a basically job behind, which is controlling the syntax of the code, like a styling of the code. And for these purposes, I have created the job inside the Jenkins. So here I could show it to you. Like this is my job, which is called FCB watch. And in the configuration, I have in here the connection to my instance of the Easy Redmine. So I have a connection back to Easy Redmine. And in here, I have also the connection to the GitLab. So it will work basically with my repository. And then this job is basically launching the utility for the HTML syntax code check. So that's what I have said. So my goal is to basically implement the automate controlling mechanism for the syntax of the code, which is the code which is in place in GitLab. So you could imagine just by drag and drop or by changing of the status of the task, it will launch automatically this test, this utility. So how to do it? How to basically perform that if someone will just drag and drop the task, so it will automatically launch this test. So you have to basically, once you have the connection to the Jenkins, so you have to just select the job from the list of the launched jobs from the Jenkins. In my case, here you can see I have it already. Like this is FCD watch, but you could for sure specify another job, like for deployment, for example, or I don't know, for something different. But in my case, I will just use the basically this FCB watch, because this job is launching this auto testing. And then you have a chance to configure the logic, how the job will be, or when the job will be launched. You have a selection of the task, so you can basically link this job to the particular task, or you could apply it for all of the tasks. In my case, I would like to apply the logic that if someone will change the status of the task to auto testing, it will launch automatically. So I will apply all tasks. Or you can also limit it per type of the task. So let's imagine that you have, for example, the bug, the problem, and then for this type of the task, you would like to launch the specific job. But in my case, it doesn't make sense, so I will skip it. And then here, this is like the main heart of the system. So here I have a chance to link the particular basically status of the task with that concrete job. So in my case, I have basically auto testing. So this is a status of the task, and I would like to link it that if someone will change from something to auto testing, so it will launch this job. So I will keep it as it is right now, and I will show you how it works in a reality. So let's return it back again, like we have requirement, and then we have this login page. And then I would like to, just by changing of the status, launch this, this job. And here you could see below, we have a specific tab, which is called Easy Jenkins CI. If you click on it, so there are my previous kind of tests. Just before a few minutes, I have launched also the double check test. And this is like the job which was called, and even the result. But please remember before this online test that we have already one. So the system will generate another one, very same. So let's show you something. So right now I will go back to the Kanban board, for example, to visualize it. And just by drag and drop, I will drag it and drop it in here. And I will back to the Jenkins. And here you can see something is basically launching 132. So this is like a new job. Here it is. It's running. This is now running job. Let's wait a few seconds. And here it is. It's basically ended already with a fail. So there are fails in the code. I will click on the logs. And here you could see, like basically there is such a issue. So this auto check of the styling of the code is generating the fails from my code. And so our goal was to visualize this fail inside the task. So let's return it back. And then let's go back to requirements, layout, and login page. And here we could go again to the Easy Jenkins GI. Pardon. And here you can see, this is another one. So before a few minutes, we had just one result from the 13th of November. So we have another result. So this is basically our accurate one. And here is the fail message. So the very same as was visible in the Easy Jenkins. And you have also the chance to click on it, and then you are redirected back to the Jenkins to see the detail. Or you could launch for sure the job manually. No needs to basically link it with a status change. You could do it just by clicking on the run, and it will basically launch the job automatically. So this is basically on the how to launch the jobs on the project level, but you have also the chance to configure it basically on the top level. So let's imagine that you have a corporate rule that for all of your projects, you do the very same job statuses. So you could do it basically from the top level perspective, like just by clicking on the more, and then there should be like a Jenkins plugin, and then you have a chance to configure it there. The very same logic, absolutely very same logic. And then we also tune it up a bit, the structure of the result. So this is like a previous version. In the new version, we have you will see the output in a formatted way. So it will look better for a reading of the fail message. And so you could basically imagine, in my case, I was showing like the automate testing, but you could basically launch it, or you could link it with basically compiling of the code. You could link it with a deployment, with releasing to creating the packages. So there is a various sets of the combination. And then for sure there is another chance, and what we are planning, just for your reference, to even be able to configure from the perspective of the Easy Redmine the attributes in the Jenkins. So you no need to basically go to the Jenkins and specifying the attributes, but you could do it from the Easy Redmine. So this is like an upcoming feature, what we are going to do. So that's basically how the Easy Jenkins is working. And then if I will return it back, what else is missing? So then we have also the plugin called Easy. The main idea, how it comes, was to replace the classic Excel file, and because you could imagine like the testers, they have evidence of the test cases somewhere in the Excel or in the wiki, and it wasn't kind of linked to the tasks. And so we were thinking like how to create again this traceability, and comes up with a very same logic as with integration with repositories with Easy Jenkins. And here you could see, like, if you have any test case which is related to your task. So let's imagine in my case, I should develop like a login page to any web page, and then the tester has created like sets of the test cases, like to check the password, and then the username, and then click on the submit, and then what should be the scenario, and then expected result. And this is, I would say, pretty logical. Like, let's imagine that for the username, he should like try like add username with simple letters without diacritic, and add username with one big letter and with white space to basically double check the function. And then this plugin test cases is also automatically kind of created. Once you create a test case, so it is automatically created the test case execution, because the system is basically kind of automatically predicting that if you have a test case, so it needs to have an execution. So he's creating automatically execution, and then the tester, they have a chance to basically and the result. He could create like a pass and update it, or for sure he could create like a fail and save and create a bug. So it's helping the testers to for their daily routine, I would say. So this is just from the perspective of the task, so everything is visible in here, but for sure you could do it from the perspective of the global test cases. So here it could be like a classic list, like a classic Excel file, and you could basically try adding there another test cases like XXX, specify the scenario, and then and you can link it with a concrete task. In my case, I have this login page, right? And click on the save, and then it means that another test case is adding there. And also from the perspective of this task, it's visible there. I will list it down. And here you could see, voila, we have 4 test cases linked to our particular task. Right. And then there is also a chance, and this is basically the news, to accumulate the test cases under the group, which are called like a test plan. So you could create like a test plan, and you could add there like the list of the test cases. And then you could launch the test plan, like a test plan 1. And you could even limit it based on the time. And you could create the groups of the tests and just be launching these under the UIs. Good. And then for sure you have a chance to import test cases, export test cases, and the very same is with the requirements. And then what we are implementing, it will be until the end of the year. So you see it in your instance, have a categorization of the test cases. So here you could see just the manual one, but we will have also the automate test cases, and it will be connected with this integration of the Jenkins. So you could also imagine that here will be like a categorization, so like this custom field, so you could be able to switch between manual and automate. And if there will be an automate test case, so then you will have a chance to select the job which is launching this automate test. And then again, the result will be automatically stored under the test case execution. So it will help you and your testers basically link these automate kind of tests with your test cases, and then also see the automate results under the tasks. So here you could imagine, for example, if I will open again my login page task. So in this test case execution, here you will see the result by, for example, Jenkins. So that's what you could expect basically the end of the year. So it will be there. And that's it from the perspective of the test cases. If I will return back to project overview, then we have passed through test cases, Jenkins integrations, and then for sure there is a plugin called Help Desk. I guess you already know it. And so then you have a chance, basically all of the kind of incoming incidents, like the tickets related to your project, like this company intranet. So you could link it. So each email which will be generated, so it could be automatically stored under this project and created as a task. So this is already existing integration. And for the dashboards, as said, we have plenty of the visualizations. So this is not the case for me today to present these visualizations because there is really plenty of those. But we have a chance for you and my colleagues, the consultants, they have a chance to, during the implementation, create you the really nice dashboards, which will basically visualize how you reduce the time just by using of these integrations. It really works. We have customers like who already basically visualize the reductions of the time their process within their delivery. So that was our goal, like to create something which will help you to save your time. So that's it in a short. I guess we could basically step into the questions if there are any.
So we have a question from Steven. He was asking what's the name of the BPMN tool that is shown. I believe he's probably asking about the diagrams.
Exactly. Diagrams. Let's show it to you again. And here you could, so this is like a plugin called Diagrams. You could click on it, and then here you could see the notation, this BPMN, for the drawing of the processes, for example. So the plugin is called Diagrams.
Yeah, so just to add to that, Steven, so the plugin is called Diagrams, and basically it's available like once you are using it, when you're updating a task, when you're updating the task where you normally write a comment or add a picture, then there is like a button for diagrams. So that's how you access the diagram page where you can create the diagrams. So if anyone else has a question, please feel free to write it in the Q&A, which is the button in the toolbar at the bottom of the screen of this webinar. And probably meanwhile you are writing your questions, I will just use this time to actually start sharing my screen, and we will have a look at where you can find details on the pricing. So if you are interested in any of the DevOps plugins and you would like to find out more about the pricing, where the easiest way actually is to contact your account manager from Easy Software, the person who is in charge of your account, so they can give you specific information, because as you know, the pricing is determined especially by the size of your team. So I'll be using this on our pricing page, but you know that you can, if you're our existing client, you can find this information in your client zone as well. So I will show the prices now for the medium team. And if you want to find out the prices, then you choose the size of the team. And then when you scroll down under the plugins and services, the additional ones, then at the bottom, there's a DevOps bundler. And you also have here the prices for the individual plugins. But as you can see, if you buy it in a bundler where you would be buying all Jenkins, test cases, requirements, and diagram, you would be actually saving 18%. You will get an 18% discount compared to if you were to buy each plugin separately. So we have another question. Jean-Michel is asking, will an integration with GitLab CI/CD be available in the future instead of Jenkins?
Definitely. Very good question. You kind of see that the name of the plugin is called like a continuous integration, or the naming under the plugin is called continuous integration, because we would like to have it universal. It means not just only being integrating the Jenkins, but another CI/CD tools. So for us, it's just the matter of the API, and the GitLab, they have a very good API for the integration. So it's basically upcoming feature. So we will definitely do it.
So right now we don't have any more questions. So if you have any questions regarding the topic of today's webinar anytime later, please feel free to contact our support. You can access our support through the chat window that is available in the bottom right corner, the chat over here, and the chat you can find on our website as well as in the application. Okay, we have one more question. Will this webinar be available later? That's a good question. Yes, we record all our webinars. So on our website, if you go under services, and over here, there's a tab called webinars. As you can see, you not only you can sign up for our future webinars, which we'll be posting more planned webinars later. You can also see the recordings here. So today is Wednesday, so usually by Friday, latest Monday, you will find the recording of the webinar over here, and you will also be notified via email. So you will receive a newsletter from us with the recording of the webinar, because I believe that probably not only my brain is fried from all the information, so definitely it'll be good for you to have a look at the webinar later, probably once more, so you can reconsider which plugins you would like to use. So is there any more questions for today? I don't see any more questions, so I would like to thank Peter for the amazing presentation with a lot of information that we got today. I hope you enjoy it. I hope to see you at one of our future webinars. And for now, I wish you good luck with your projects.